I feel like conservatives will say, well, this is horrible, this decision happened. But then the left still continues their narrative that the Supreme Court is some kind of just conservative ideologues. So do you think it kind of all hinges on where they decide on this immunity case? Or do you think that, the left is just going to say these things no matter what decisions they come out with? How do you think the court is going to come out on the immunity case? And then how do you think that may impact some of the narrative this year?
Danielle, for 2 years in a row now, the left has had this months-long disinformation orchestrated operation, this disinformation operation against the U.S. Supreme Court. It was over a year ago where we had months and months of ProPublica, the left-wing information, which was dripping all these allegedly controversial pieces about Clarence Thomas jetting off with Harlan Crow, the billionaire in Texas, and how he was allegedly not disclosing that. And then Politico got in on the app. Politico ran this ridiculous piece last year about how Neil Gorsuch had some allegedly sketchy real estate transaction back in his home state of Colorado. It was nothing of the sort. They actually even went after John Roberts, who's not exactly a rock-ribbed conservative. So this was all happening a year ago. And now they're obviously doing it again this year. That's what we've seen in the headlines, this ridiculous manufactured controversy over Sam Alito with his wife flying these two particular flags, including the Appeal to Heaven flag, which literally was flown outside San Francisco City Council. That noted far-right fascist bastion of the city of San Francisco saw fit to fly the Appeal to Heaven flag that the left is now just crying outrageous about. And now they're bringing back the Clarence Thomas, Harlan Crow stuff again. Danielle, none of this has anything to do whatsoever with the actual ethics of the Supreme Court, with the fact that judges should or should not be recusing in some cases. Literally, all this has to do, this great left-wing disinformation operation, has to do with what I think you're getting at in your question, and you're picking up on it accurately, which is the left cannot abide by the fact that there is one institution in America which is not even right-wing, but it is probably center-right. It is center-right at best. It is one of the only major institutions of political, legal, or frankly, cultural importance currently standing in America that is not predominantly or exclusively left-wing. And the fact that the left does not have an absolute monopoly of all the institutions, rather they're stuck at like 98 to 99%, but the fact that there is one major institution that they do not have their talons, their claws on in its entirety, that really, really sits poorly with them, and they cannot abide by it. That is the only explanation for all these attacks. So no, I don't think that they're going to stop shouting no matter what happens in the Trump immunity case, because it's not fundamentally about the cases. It's not about the law. It's about the fact that they just yield. They yearn for power. And when there is a power void for them, they're just going to keep on yelling and shouting and doing everything that they need to know.